Hey, I'm Dr. Alex Hogue.
And I'm Simone Boissonneault.
We're going to be leading the Life, Media, and Culture in Berlin trip. So the main question of this trip is how does Berlin as a city go from the capital of the Nazi Empire to one of the most vibrant, funky, and culturally diverse cities in the world?
And to attempt to work through this question, we're going to be offering 2 courses on this trip that you can choose from. Our first class is going to be a section of LIS 122, Introduction to Intercultural Studies. In that class, we'll be taking a look at interculturality in Berlin, both today and with regard to the East-West divide in the city. Looking at this from the perspective of American students traveling to this new place.
LIS 122 satisfies the core goal 2C.
Yes, it does.
The other class we're going to be offering is LIS 410, Media and Culture in Berlin. This class is going to be looking at the media and the culture of Berlin. So with regard to the trips, we're going to be, it's going to be a totally field trip based class. There'll be some films to watch beforehand, sort of some background knowledge, but other than that, we all take the same trips together. We don't split the party. And the classes differ in how we engage with and look at the content of the different trips. LIS 410 is going to count definitely for the German minor, obviously. Also for LIS majors, the film minor, and lots of other majors and minors in lots of other disciplines. I know I've already been speaking with COM. They're very interested in having this count in their major. But yeah, let's talk more about the excursions.
Absolutely.
Which 2 are you really interested in?
It's difficult to pick, but I'm going to say probably I'm very interested in the tour of Berlin's street art that we're going to be taking. It's led by a street artist, and so that person will be speaking, that guide will be speaking from their experiences doing art, probably mostly legally, on the streets of Berlin, although we will be learning about the regulations and whatnot as well, and the processes, the history, and the importance of street art, and it's really central to the culture of Berlin. You see art everywhere in the city. And connected to that, I guess, we'll be going to the East Side Gallery, which is a very, very long remaining segment of the Berlin Wall. It's been left up, and artists from around the world have been commissioned to paint beautiful and impactful murals along its length. So doing a walk of the wall is a great way to see the ways in which the city has changed, very literally post-Berlin Wall, and to look at the way that wall divided the city in a very physical sense. And that'll bring us to looking at different ways that people lived in the West, which probably won't be too new to any of you, versus in the East, where things were a little bit different. So we'll be walking around neighborhoods, going to museums, and just seeing how people existed in those times. Say hello to Felix. He won't be coming with us.
So to start the trip off, once we land, some of the first trips we're going to do are into the ruins and the remains of the Nazi-era structures. We're going to be going to the Olympic Stadium from 1936. That's not really a ruin at this point. It's still very much in use. But we will be going down into air raid shelters that were used during the Second World War. We'll be climbing flak towers that are today just in a public park. You can just go climb up. Later we'll be doing a guided tour with Syrian refugees who came over to Germany during and after the Syrian Civil War. And they'll lead us around talking about their experiences of migration, about having to leave home because there was a war on, settling in a new place, the difficulties and opportunities that come with, having to move and then trying to build a new life in a new country. Yeah, and that ends at a Syrian restaurant, which I am pretty stoked about.
Oh yeah.
So, as far as who this trip might be applicable to, obviously anybody studying LIS, anybody interested in language and culture, definitely. But also film, history, politics, intel, art, graphic design, DCD. We're going to be doing things with the indie gaming scene in Berlin. We're going to be going to at least 2 game museums. Yeah, we hope to see your application soon. Hope you'll be joining us in Berlin.